It's exciting for me to be back. Joan, thank you for inviting me back here to Missouri. I have very, very fond memories of my time here and with Karen and the kids. This was a turning point for me in our primary battle last year about this time, and it was a very interesting time in my life personally. I've gotten a lot of questions about our daughter Bella. And by the way, she is doing just spectacularly well, and thank you all for your continued prayers for her. But as you may recall, we sort of stepped off the campaign trail because about a year ago, Bella got very ill and was in the hospital. And I happened to be home for just that day that she ended up getting very sick, and we took her to the hospital in the middle of the night and actually very early in the morning. And I was supposed to go back to Florida, and because the Florida primary was still going on, but obviously my responsibilities as a father come first, and so we got in. I'll never forget. We got to the hospital, and she was having a lot of difficulty breathing and a lot of complications, and they took an X-ray, and it showed that she had pneumonia in her lungs, and they were very dense, and so we put the word out that because you can't step off the campaign trail and not say why, particularly if you've lost your last two primaries and we're trailing in the one coming up. People start to think, well, you've abandoned the race, so we didn't want them to think that. So we did have to sort of communicate a message as to what was wrong, and that our daughter Bella was in the hospital. And it was amazing the response that we got all across the country. Even today, I have to tell you, when I'm going through an airport or in a cab, in New York, someone will look at me and they'll, I know you. I mean, did you go to Springfield High School? I mean, that's what happens. And I said, no, I'm Rick Santorum. Oh yeah, of course. How's your daughter? First question that comes, how's your daughter? It really made quite an impact on the country. And I say that in that the goodness of America is still here. I mean, America still is a good country, is a great country. And I just saw that reflected even today from the response to that little girl who ended up in the hospital. And we put the word out to please pray for her. And we were thinking, how many days would I be off the campaign, because I was going to be there as long as she was in a critical state. And the very next day, the doctor came in with the X-ray for the next day. They took an X-ray the next morning, and her lungs were clear. The doctor said this is miraculous. I mean, she had pneumonia in her lungs, and those lungs are not filled with the fluids that were once there. So that allowed us to say, okay, well, if she's going to be out of the critical care and she's on her way to health, then we can get back out on the campaign trail. And we decided instead of going back to Florida, we'd come to Missouri. And so Bella changed the whole complexion of the campaign in so many ways for us, because as you know, coming to Missouri and abandoning the rest of the campaign in Florida, we ended up winning here in Missouri and in Minnesota and Colorado, and the race changed completely. So I just share that with you, that it was a miraculous blessing on so many levels for us as a family, for Bella to be healed, and to our campaign in some respects to be healed and give us the opportunity to go forward. I have to say that I've been blessed throughout the course of my political career to have experienced many of those blessings. And I still believe that, and I know you all do, that God still has his blessings over this land. But we have to work at making sure that we put this land back underneath his blessing, that we don't move away from that blessing. And that's really the challenge for all of us, isn't it?